The Great Migration by Jonathan and Angela Scott. Contents: What is the Great Migration? 2. Animals of the Great Migration. 4. Why does the Great Migration take place? 8. The Migration Year. 12. Serengeti Year. 28. Glossary. 30. Index. 31. What is the Great Migration? There is a place in Tanzania in Africa which is so big that people call it the Serengeti. This means the land that goes on forever. More than 2 million animals live here. The Great Migration is when all these animals go on the move. It is the largest migration of land animals on Earth, and it happens every year. More than 1 million wildebeests travel on the Great Migration. Animals of the Great Migration. During the long, dry season, the grass-eating animals must travel to find water to drink and fresh grass to eat. Fact: zebras and wildebeests eat different parts of the same grass. This means they don't take each other's food. Grass-eating animals. The grass-eating animals are mainly herds of wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles. There are many more wildebeests than zebras. Gazelles also migrate during the dry season, but they do not travel as far as the zebras and the wildebeests. Meat-eating animals. Meat-eating animals would die of hunger without the grass-eating animals to eat. But meat-eating animals don't usually travel long distances in the same way. This is because they live and hunt in one place. They will not usually dare to cross land controlled by another group. Why does the Great Migration take place? Every year it becomes so dry on the southern Serengeti plains that there is not enough grass for all the animals to eat. Further north, the grass is still growing and the rivers have not dried up. So the animals follow the rain to find food and water. The animals are always on the move. As soon as rain arrives in their Serengeti home, all the animals wander back south again. They travel an amazing 3,000 kilometres round trip. Rain clouds gather over the Serengeti. The animals travel back south to the Serengeti in search of the best grass. Safety in numbers. It is safer for the grass-eating animals to travel together. Some of them are certain to survive the journey. If they were separated from the main herds, they would be easy prey for the meat-eaters. The Migration Year, January to April. The Great Migration begins when the little wildebeest calves are born on the huge Serengeti plains. About 500,000 babies arrive during a few weeks between January and March. This wildebeest calf is now up and running. Rich soil and rain mean that there is plenty of good grass at this time of the year. There is food for all the animals. Within minutes, the wildebeest calves are on their feet. Within hours, they can run with the herd. They are about to start their great journey. This baby wildebeest has just been born. May. Time to go north. Young wildebeests have many enemies. There are hungry lions and other meat-eaters waiting to catch them, but it is safer for young animals if there are so many of them together. As long as they can stay with their mothers, they stand a good chance of survival. A cheetah trying to catch a wildebeest. Cheetahs often hunt young wildebeests because they are easier to catch. The biggest dangers are not hungry meat-eaters, but hunger and thirst. By the end of May, the rain stops on the Serengeti plains, the grass dies, and waterholes begin to dry up. The long dry season is beginning, and the great herds must move in search of food and water. The grass is dying, and it is time for the herds to move on. June to July. First, the herds move to the woodlands in the northwest. This is when the male wildebeests fight to show off their strength. but the herds cannot stay here too long because there is not enough grass. The most dangerous part of their long journey has only just begun. The wildebeests will be travelling north during the driest months of the year, but they have to keep moving. If they stop, they will soon run out of fresh grass and water. Zebras are often the first to set out, followed by the huge army of wildebeests. Day after day, they keep travelling across the plains. The meat eaters are watching them. They will pick off any old, young, or sick animals that fall behind. Zebras are safer when they travel together. The meat eaters cannot easily sneak up on an animal in a big herd. Lions are waiting for the herds to arrive. They will have plenty of food as there are lots of tired and sick animals that cannot keep up with the herds. This vulture is looking for a meal. August to September. Crossing the River Mara. At last, the herds reached the River Mara, which is a big test. Soon, there are hundreds and thousands of wildebeests and zebras on the riverbank. They need to find a crossing place where there are no bushes and trees, because that is where hungry, meat-eating animals will be lying in wait. As more animals arrive, they become more and more uneasy and nervous. Then a wildebeest leaps into the water. The rest rush after it. This happens many times over the next few weeks. Herds of zebras and wildebeests rush into the river, hoping to reach the other side. Hungry crocodiles have been waiting all year for this moment. They grab at the animals, who panic and trample on each other. Sometimes the riverbanks are steep, and it is difficult for the animals to get out. Many are drowned. For thousands of animals, it is the end of their journey. Fact: crocodiles do not need to eat very often. One big meal can last for several months. Hundreds of thousands of animals do survive. They cross over the river to the Masai Mara Game Reserve in Kenya. The animals are safer if they cross the river together. Now the animals can relax a little and eat the grass, but they cannot stay in any one place for very long. Soon they must be ready for the final part of their great journey. October to December. By October to November, it is raining on the Serengeti Plains, and the great herds begin to travel back home again. Soon it will be time for their babies to arrive. Fact: the new grass in the Serengeti helps young animals to grow strong because it contains special minerals. Nearly 2 million animals go on the Great Migration, and they keep moving for most of the year. Up to 500,000 will die. But this is the only way that the great herds can live through the long, dry season. They have to travel all the time in search of grass and water. Every year, they must be ready to make their long journey all over again. Serengeti Year. January. Wildebeest calves born on Serengeti. Some rain. February. Wildebeest calves born on Serengeti. Some rain. March. Raining. Wildebeest calves born on the Serengeti. April. Raining. Wildebeest and zebras still eating the good grass in southern Serengeti. May. Long dry season begins at the end of May. June. Long dry season. Animals moving north and west. July. Long dry season. Animals moving north to the Masai Mara. August. Long dry season. Animals crossing the River Mara. September. Long dry season. Animals feeding in the Masai Mara Game Reserve. October. Raining in Serengeti. Animals return home. November. Raining in Serengeti. Animals return home. December. Animals feeding on good grass in southern Serengeti. Glossary. Calves. Young wildebeests. Dry season. Time of the year when no rain falls. Game reserve. area where wildlife is protected. Herds, groups of animals. Migration, long journey by animals or people. Plains, flat, open land. Prey, animals which are eaten as food. Survive, continuing to live in spite of danger or hardship. Vulture, large bird that feeds on dead animals. Waterholes, natural holes which fill with water during the rainy season.